Okay, sit back and relax. Let's talk about how Rolex gold watches are killing authorized dealers, but also massively benefiting businesses like mine. So for a bit of context, Rolex increased their prices like they do every year at the start of 2024, and they also increased prices for gold-only watches in June. And they did this because the price of gold has gone up. So the price of gold for me and for you to buy is higher than what it was previously, and so it's the same for Rolex. If they want to buy gold, they have to now pay more money. The price of gold has almost doubled in the last 5 years, so you can imagine very quickly why Rolex would want to put the prices up of their gold watches. Now, why has the price of gold gone up? Well, it could be a variety of different simple or maybe complex reasons depending on how you look at the world, but people are starting to put their money and invest their money into gold because it's quite a stable commodity. The reason for this is because the world is quite uncertain at the moment. It's quite a challenging time. We're coming up to, US elections and all that kind of stuff, and we've had similar in the UK fairly recently with government party changes. So it's one of those things, gold is very stable, and it just so happened that the price has now shot up, and we are now at a point where gold is very, very expensive, and now businesses that produce gold products are now reacting off the back of this. Yes, this is annoying, but for anybody or for any businesses that have gold as part of their products or part of their production run, prices have to be increased because as costs go up, you can't just keep the RRP price the same because you'll be operating at a loss if you do that. So the RRP prices have to go up alongside the costs. It makes sense, and yes, like I said, it's annoying and it becomes very expensive for consumers. With that said though, it doesn't change the fact that it's becoming very, very expensive to buy Rolex gold watches. For example, it is now almost £44,000 to buy a gold Skydweller full bracelet. It is £38,000 to buy a Daytona, full gold Daytona, and it's also £38,000 to buy a day date. And I truly believe that these price increases are really hurting authorized dealers, and I mean really, really hurting authorized dealers to the point where they're really changing how they interact and how they behave with customers in a very good way, let me add. You guys may have seen this as well, but people are just not willing to pay RRP on gold watches anymore when they can get the exact same watches on the grey market for way, way cheaper. Like, it just doesn't make sense anymore. Especially as well when you can buy the exact same watch for sometimes up to £10,000 less. I have this gold day date here in front of me. I have a very loyal client of mine who has decided to buy an olive day date, and yes, this isn't brand new, it's a few years older, but it's the same watch, and my client has come to me for the exact reasons I've just said. He doesn't want to pay £38,000 for this watch when he can get it in the mid-30s, and yeah, he's saving a few £1,000s, but yeah, I'm seeing this more and more, which is great for me, not so good for ADs. I do still think people are holding on to this idea of building a relationship and increasing spend history. Well, the power of this and the sense in this is starting to diminish. It doesn't really make as much sense anymore because the amount of money you're going to lose on specific gold watches now that you are going to have to buy will not outweigh the gain that you're going to make on the good stuff that you'll be offered eventually, maybe in 5 years' time. But what happens if nobody buys gold watches? What happens at the Rolex authorized dealers? I mean, Rolex still have to sell watches. They still have to sell steel watches. So if no one's buying the gold, are they going to be forced to just sell the steel watches without having people buy, I don't know, two-tones or full gold watches? Perhaps. They can't sell nothing, so they'll have to do something. Maybe we'll get to a point where they discount watches again, which was a very common thing years and years ago. They would discount gold watches. It was common practice. Imagine a day now where ADs are discounting watches. It honestly might come to that. It genuinely might, because they're calling all of their customers and you're having most of them decline because they're too expensive. The customers are going to lose a lot of money, and it's just not worth the time and effort anymore. Maybe what also will happen is not so much to do with the ADs, but maybe Rolex will decide to slow down the production of their gold pieces, and instead they'll increase the production of the steel watches, the watches that we all want more of, the subs, the GMTs, the Daytonas, the Skydwellers, the steel stuff, right? Will that happen? Absolutely not. I highly doubt that will happen, because Rolex make an absolute fortune selling you guys gold watches, so I can't see that happening personally. Whatever happens, I think it's going to be very interesting to watch what Rolex do, how ADs react to the change in, I guess, buying behavior. So buckle up for the ride. It's going to be an interesting one. If you have an opinion on this and you've experienced anything like this yourself, where you've lost a lot of money at the AD and you've been promised a number of watches, please do share in the comments below, because it's very interesting to hear how different ADs work across the country. So yeah, anyway, I need to head out. I need to go and collect a watch and also sell a watch. So I'll see you soon. Thank you so much, man. I'll come later in the week for the date just. You know, this is 2 years out of date.
No, yeah, I know, I refill it.
Ah, I had a look, I was like, 2022?
No, yeah, they give me this bottle and I have a 5-liter one and I just refill it.
That makes sense. That makes sense, okay. Good to see you though, man. Thank you. It's the end of the month, end of September. When you have a business, it's interesting how quickly months seem to disappear. It's a very, very strange thing that, yeah, the month is gone already. It's very bizarre. This year in general, 2024, has literally just gone like that. And I know we've got a quarter of the year left, but it just feels like, you know, we're in the back end of the year now. But yeah, just a little bit of a business update for me, for anyone that's interested or cares. So September has been one of my better months, probably a top 4 or 5 month that I've ever had. I've sold over 30 watches again, so I'm getting to a point now where I'm consistently selling between 30 and 40 watches in a month, which is, for me at this point, I'm very happy with. Selling all sorts of watches. My most sold Rolex model for this month was the GMT. Of the GMTs, I'd say it was the Bruce Wayne and then the Batgirl. I think I sold 5 Bruce Waynes and 4 or 5 Batgirls, so pretty close. A lot of GMTs basically. So literally a couple of days until October. I'll be approaching the month as I've approached every month this year. I really want to start strong, start really quick. I always feel better if I sell a few watches on the first day of the month, just so that the number gets ticking and keeps me motivated. But yeah, I think I have a lot of watches available. So if you're looking to buy a watch for yourself or for someone else, you are more than welcome to get in touch. If you're looking to sell a watch also, I would say reach out. You can email, you can WhatsApp, you can send a message on Instagram DMs. I would be happy to have a chat. The more watches you have to sell, the better. Thank you for watching, guys. Please subscribe if you're new and give this video a like. Let me know what you think about gold in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.